This is, for being 10 weeks post having a baby, the number of games on our table for a month of play is... I'm shocked. I'm impressed with us.
I'm really shocked.
This is way more than I thought it was going to be. So, high five. We did good. Hey, everybody, you're watching Play the Game HQ. I'm Daniel. We have Alison back. This is what we played in March and a couple of honorable mentions from February. But yeah.
We had a baby mid to late January. I had a baby.
You had a baby. We had a baby.
So like the bags under our eyes are legit, but we played way more games than I thought, and I think there's a few more that the boys played without us.
Yeah, that are not on this list. Yeah, they've been doing a lot of keeping themselves busy with games.
They have.
Yeah, it's nice to have you back on camera with me. Yeah. I've been kind of holding down the content fort for the past couple months. Thank you.
I popped in a few times to play playthroughs.
Yeah, we've done a couple playthroughs that we had to do
and the live
stream. Emma was on that.
Yeah, which is one of the games we played in March. It was like one of the first games we played in March was Forges of Ravenshire.
Yes, which is one we don't have here, so we're doing that one first so we don't forget because we're tired and don't have visual cues, and that creates an issue. So we don't,
but that one's going to Kickstarter, and that's BA Games.
Yep, Forges of Ravenshire. We have a full...
playthrough.
A live stream. We did a live stream with Sam from BA Games. He came down and did it in studio with us.
That was so fun.
It was. It's a really fun engine builder. Really, yeah.
It was a dice placement.
Yes, it's dice placement.
So it's a worker placement with your dice, and then you build your engine while you collect cards and manage your resources, and you are trying to be the best.
You're trying to replace
what's the guy who hammers
the blacksmith. But you're trying to replace the head blacksmith who mysteriously disappeared from the town.
If you look at the board.
Yeah, and there's evidence. There's evidence on the board that there may have been foul play involved. Doesn't play into the story at all, other than just the head blacksmith has mysteriously disappeared.
There's a few little nuggets and Easter eggs on the board, and just throughout the game, especially if you have played or are aware of the
Cult of the Deep.
Cult of the Deep. My brain, man, I gotta get this going. There's some little nods to that game as well, so that's fun. Now, you played Splendor Duel.
Yes.
I did not play this month. You played that with Sam.
Yep, I played this with Sam. He's a big fan of Splendor. We have a video that he shot coming out comparing Splendor and Splendor Duel.
I've not seen that yet, so.
No, I haven't edited it yet, so I need to. But yeah, Splendor Duel, great little 2-player version of Splendor. We played
that when I was in labor.
We did. And we have a full review on this, so
not
go check
while
that
I was
out.
in labor. We didn't review it while I was in labor.
No, but we played it while you were in labor.
This is true.
Yep. So that's Splendor Duel. This is one of the earlier ones we played, or I played. Mm-hmm. And then
another early one we played. Actually, I think this one we played like the last week of
that's a February game.
Was QE. Now, I judge a book by its cover. I judge games by their cover. This did not.
Monetary policy does not jump out to you as like.
No.
Want to play that game?
No. Also, which doesn't jump out to me, that light's not on. What doesn't jump out to me...
That light is not on because we're trying out some new lighting stuff. So that put too harsh of a shadow. We're creating face texture with the lights.
Also, we only have one mic. Is that intentional too?
Yeah.
Okay.
We only ever have one mic when we just have people on one side of the table.
Oh. See, I have only
it's been a long time since Alison's been here.
Things have changed. Yeah. Okay. So QE, another thing that didn't reach out to me to want to play is bidding. Mm-hmm. I'm not a big fan of bidding. We have played so many bidding games this year.
We have played a lot of... there's been a lot of games.
Cat in the Box, the Goblin's Vault, Roller Coaster Rush.
Cat in the Box isn't bidding.
Kind of, though.
No, it's trick taking. You're estimating how many you want to get. It's not bidding.
A little bit.
It's not bidding. It's not bidding.
A little bit. Anyways.
You're estimating. You're predicting, but you're not bidding.
Raw.
RA,
Now...
not RAW, because... Every time that confused Devin every time I said we were going to play Raw because he heard it as RAW, not RA.
No, okay. But then also another one, which is not on here because we played it in December and you bought it for me in January, is Furnace. I liked Furnace. That was okay, maybe I like bidding a little bit more than I thought.
You do like bidding more than you think you do.
So, QE, that's the case with a lot of mechanics, apparently. I'm like, no, I don't like that. Then I play it. I'm like, okay, it worked. QE is a bidding game with just imagination money. It's like, yeah, I have $100,000. Well, I have $2 billion. Sure, I'm gonna buy that. Like, you just make up money.
Which is, and it is based on the story of the game. The premise of the game is that the central banks around the world are trying to
print money.
It's quantitative easing. That's what QE stands for. It's when central banks just print money to inject into the economy.
That's how it feels.
It very much is.
You could. We played with the boys, and it was like $1, and then the next time it's like $2 billion. It was very interesting. Yeah. Like, this is the kind of game I want to play with.
We need to play with adults.
And like, it depends on what you're feeling, and like. If you're stressed, I wonder how it would play. If you're like totally chill, I wonder how you'd play.
Well, it also depends on how you sell, like where the first kind of few people go with their bids. Because the premise of this is you are central banks around the world that are trying to save the economy. So you have an unlimited amount of money and you are bidding on companies to buy them.
But don't spend the most.
Yes. You win if you have the most points, but you lose automatically. Like, you're eliminated from contention if you spent the most money. So you can bid however much you want, but you cannot spend the most money. Right. And not everyone knows.
It's secret bidding.
Yeah, it's secret bidding. So not everyone knows. Like, there's someone that is running the bid each round, and that rotates. So each round, the person who wins the bid and the person who was running the bid know how much the bid was, but that shifts. So you have no idea if people are bidding billions of dollars.
Even towards the end of the game, like, you just never know, because you're writing it with
all you know is you bid $7. Yeah.
I think we had issues with the dry erase markers with these. This is all play, or boardgametables.com. They're all play now. They have an expansion that came out last year.
Yeah, it was Kickstarter last year. It has commodities. We have it over there.
We've not played it yet, but we've played the base game, and we'd like to play the base game again with some adults, not our kids, even though our kids played it fine.
They did.
And then we'll also play the expansion with that. Yeah. I enjoyed it more than I thought. I had more fun with just the play money.
Again, monetary policy is not at just...
It didn't reach out to me.
At service level, doesn't seem like it's going to make a great game, but it made a really fun game.
Now, I know I love this game.
Yeah.
You bought this again in January?
Bought this from the Barnes & Noble sale. We had played it before a few times. We borrowed Devin's copy.
Yeah, the boys love this game. Yeah. Like, we borrowed Devin's copy last year, and the boys played it like 10 times in one day. So we bought this copy. You played this with Peyton.
Played it at our coffee date at
with
Starbucks
Quarto.
On Wednesday. Yep.
So
it's a
Shobu,
fun little abstract.
Yeah, or I don't know if you can see it from there, but you've got these 4 wooden boards. It's real wood, real stones, and real rope that you're playing with. So it's like that, what's the word I'm looking for? Tactile. You just feel like the good weight of the rocks. And you're moving. You've got light rocks and you've got dark rocks. And you've got your boards and their boards. And if you move your rock on the darker wood, it automatically moves, right? Am I thinking correctly?
No, it just, you move one of your stones.
It's been a minute since
you move a stone on one board and it moves a stone on another board. And you're trying to push the other player's stones off the boards. This isn't let's get into detail about the gameplay kind of video. No. So you can go look up other stuff about it. But it
reminded me of that time you killed me with the way things kind of move on multiple boards, where I move this, then it moves here, and then that type of thing, where I really, really like that. Yeah. So that was Shobu, and then you talk about Quarto, because you also played that.
So Quarto is a fantastical abstract. This is one of the first games that we ever bought. This is Hachette sent us a not torn up box.
I think our torn up box is around here
over there. It's well loved and well worn. We bought this in like 2008.
It was a long time ago. We bought this in Pylos and one other one.
Corridor.
That was the Gigamech.
Yeah, games. The Gigamech. They're the ones that are in the white box that look like this. But it's fantastic abstract. It's basically kind of checkers. You have light, dark, tall, short, square, round, and I don't know if you can tell, some have a hole in the middle, some don't. But your goal is to get 4 in a row get 4 pieces in a row that share one feature. So 4 tall, they don't have to be the same color, or 4 light, 4 dark. You're trying to get 4 in a row. The catch with the game is that the other player gives you the piece you're going to play. So you're trying to like lock the other player in, force them to put a piece that you want. It's really about reading the board and seeing where if I give you this tall piece, you're going to put it in a place where like you're going to lock me out of tall pieces, but that's going to open up short. It doesn't seem like it would work because it seems like it would just be here. I'm going to give you a bad piece.
With
bag
Pylos,
of board.
it didn't feel like it would work either.
No.
That's the other one of those.
But
But it does.
It's real fun. It's like tic-tac-toe turned up to 11 with some with some cool features. So yeah, highly recommend Quarto. And if you see a box that looks like this in design, the wood pieces, white background.
It's usually a 2-player game, and it's
this
usually
font,
good.
yeah, it's an abstract line from Gigamic. They're all fantastic.
They say 8 and up, but I think Peyton started playing it when he was like 4.
Yeah.
Okay, Museum Suspects. Now, we've had this game for a minute.
We got that at Gen Con.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Hold on.
So.
Well, these games that we actively play, you can assure that the box is not going to be put on correctly. Museum Suspects is from Blue Orange Games, and it's like, if you dumb it down, it's like Guess Who?
Yeah, that's a really good way to put it.
But you can play with 4 more people. I think, 2 to 4 players. And we played it at 4, and I liked it. So it's like Guess Who, but there's way more involved because you're detectives, and there's things like you've got different cards that are on either side, and you get to choose. It's not bidding, but you have the
It actually you're
another bidding game.
It's a little bit, yeah.
It's not bidding.
You have a 4x4 grid of people on the table, and you have random attribute cards that are different things. So you're trying to figure out who the suspect is. You're trying to eliminate different suspects. There's 8 clues. You're only going to see 6 of them.
And you have sketch pads, where you actually with the little pencil. You loved the pencil.
Yeah, it is the most adorable little pencil.
You've got your sketch pads.
I think it's because the ring is black and the pencil eraser is so pink. It just
so you're like
I know.
Hold on, let me jot this down.
I know if you sharpen a normal pencil down to this length, it would look the exact same. But they're just adorable. But yeah,
he sent me that I hadn't played it. And he sent me a picture of just a picture. He was like, "This pencil is so cute."
But yeah, it's a fun game. It's deduction. You're forced to every round bid on who you think might end up being the thief, but you have very little information early in the game, so it's kind of hedging. You have different numbers that you're bidding, so it's really hedging your bets and managing your high value tokens.
Yeah.
You also have to put a token. You have 1 through 6, and you have multiple different tokens. After you look at a clue, you have to put a token on that clue.
Yeah, and everyone else has to play that number or higher of their tokens. Right. So it was really interesting, kind of a mind game where you put a 1 out, and so everyone was like, "Oh, that one must not be worth much." But that was a very valuable clue. But no one looked at it until the end and was like, that would have been really good to know. And
this clue sucks. I'm going to put a 6 on it so that everyone will spend their high value tokens to check this one out and realize that this one means nothing.
Now, I would say, it does say 6 and up, and I would actually say that's about...
8 and up.
Or I meant 8 and up. It says 8 and up. I would say that's about accurate.
Yeah.
What's the cloaked cats? I think if you're wanting something a little bit more beyond Guess Who, I would go with cloaked cats. That's the
no, that's Haba.
That's Haba.
Yes.
So I would go with that one, and then go to Blue Orange to get Museum Suspects. Yeah. That would be the next one.
So what do we want to talk about next? You want to talk about this?
Let's do Block and Key.
Block and Key. This was also a February game. We have a tutorial for this coming out soon.
You also
have a review of it. Have an unboxing of it. I love this game. Super chunky. This is a heavy box. It's super chunky clay pieces. Yeah.
It's so narrow. Now, something that drives me crazy though, because I love the art, but then it's got a sleeve because you use use the box, the whole box.
There's a reason
for the game. There's a reason, but it's torn.
Yeah.
And it's just gorgeous.
It's loved.
It is loved, but that happened day 1.
Yeah. But it's a 2-layer board. The artwork is amazing. The hidden kind of Easter eggs on the board are amazing. It's a perspective game, so you're looking at it from your specific perspective. Everyone has to sit on a different side of the board, and you're trying to achieve goals with your tiles from your perspective. It's just
you can't play it on a table like this though, when you're so far away.
You can, and we did. It's just
it's
difficult.
Just hard.
A smaller table, a more symmetrical table is better.
Okay, we can talk about Nimalia. We're actually I'm going to do a review of this coming up, and this is from not Blue Orange. This is from Lucky Duck and a few other Black Rock Games and La Botte Joux. Did I say that correctly?
I'm going to say you did.
Wow. It's got so many of something Peyton loved. He was like, which rule book should we read from?
It's a localized
multi-language.
Yeah, it's a localized game. So it has all the rule books all in one.
But I wanted to pull this out here, and I will pull it out more in my review. But your goals, you have multiple goals for different rounds, and depending on the round will depend on which goals you're actually going for and you're going to score. It's a puzzly game. It is a puzzle game. You're building up to a 6x6 little tableau. You have to cover up parts of different cards. There's drafting. It's a pass and draft game. Right. But you're trying to achieve goals. But what that little card shows is you have a card on each corner. The goals are color coded. So you have blue, red, green, and yellow. And each round, it shows you which cards you're scoring, and you drop some cards off for a couple rounds and come back to them. So it's really like you're managing, okay, I don't need to score blue for rounds 3 and 4, but I do need to score it for 5, so I can't cover up all my lions because the lions are coming back. But what's interesting too is as you're building, you're laying your cards on the table, you have to cover up one that's already existing on the table with the card that you just drafted. Yeah. So it's like, okay, what should I cover up? Ooh, that's valuable to me this time, or that'll be really valuable next time. So it's weighing your odds of what you want to give up and what you want to keep. It's an interesting super simple set of rules, but really, really really satisfying puzzle game. Tiny game. Yep. The table presence is a little bigger because we played it at a tiny little bistro table and it was like, ew, we're squished in here. Yep. Okay, you want to just let's just go with this. You just put out a tutorial for Raw. I did put it out yesterday. Sorry, the box is backwards. So Raw is a reprint. 25th century game. It's a Reiner Knizia classic game reprinted by 25th Century. It's actively fulfilling now. So this is not the Pharaoh edition. We have the Pharaoh edition. The Pharaoh edition that has the metal coins and stuff also. This was sent for photography stuff, which is why we have both. It's a really fun bidding game. Not going to get too heavy into the rules because we have a tutorial. Click it right there. Yeah, click it right there. It won't be up there. Yeah, can almost guarantee that it won't be up there for at least a day. If it's there, I bugged him. Yeah. So it's bidding. You're trying to build out a tableau. You're trying to score, bid on tiles, do all that. Tons of fun. Highly recommend it. What are we? I epically lost this game. Hello. Yeah. I epically lost this game. I think I got 7. I think it was 56. Peyton had 48. Peyton played awesome. He was awesome. Jared had 35 and you had 7. That's a score to be proud of. He was like, yeah, she wasn't even upset about it. Because I tried and I was like, that. She tried to do good. She didn't try to have that low of a score. No, yeah. She tried to actually, she just kept getting boxed out of winning the bids. It was so bad. Yeah. Now, I was carrying, I had a baby. Don't make excuses. If you're going to brag about your low score, you can't then immediately follow up with an excuse. This is a prototype of Endeavor Deep Sea. This came in the mail, and Jared saw it on the table, and he was like, huh, what's Endeavor? What's Endeavor? And it took him about a week to get, we kept having to correct me. He's like, you guys playing Endeavor tonight? And we're like, it's Endeavor. He's like, he finally caught himself. He finally got it. When he said, he goes, I said it right the first time. He gets that from me. Yeah. He does. He comes by it honestly. So not going to go into too much detail on this because we are previewing this. This is coming from Burn Island Games and Grand Gamers Guild. It is coming to GameFound, not Kickstarter, in April. It is a follow-up to Endeavor Age of Sail. Not a follow-up. No, I have not played Endeavor Age of Sail. We haven't. I know it shares some mechanics. It is a follow-up to it, but it's a completely different theme. You're exploring the ocean. You're doing... From what I've heard, it's a better theming for the mechanics. Yeah, you're doing conservation work. That's the word. You have a submarine. You're exploring the depths of the ocean. We played it at 2 players.
I played it at 4. I played half the game at 4 players on TTS.
You seem to enjoy it more
yeah,
at 4 players.
We explored more of the ocean. 2 players felt a little bit like we didn't get to explore much. But again,
like
it's a prototype.
Few rounds.
It's a prototype. I hope they will add some sort of modification to the rules for 2 players, just so you can explore more and see more of the artwork. It
now
just
that
felt
we
like
played, my next game will be different.
Yeah, could very well be different. We've only played this once
at 2 player.
At 2 players. So yeah, we will have a full preview of this. We're also doing a live stream of this game with at least 3 players.
Yeah, it would be Devin or Richard or
somebody.
Someone.
It'll be somebody in addition to the 2 of us. So.
Yeah.
Galactic Renaissance. Let's knock this big puppy out of the park really quick.
Now, careful tipping it up.
Got too pieces. Late. So
this is a prototype.
Yep.
We did a full edited playthrough. You posted that last week.
Yep, posted last week.
On Kickstarter still, right?
Yes, it's on Kickstarter now.
It did fund.
Yep. If you've played Inish, it's the same designer. It's the second game in their
line
political trilogy. I can't remember how they describe it. It is. There's going to be
3.
Right, this is game 2.
Okay.
Game 3 will be coming out eventually. But yeah, it's from Matago. It is the successor to Inish. It's politics in space.
Inish is like, I know it's like territories.
Inish is gorgeous.
It's really pretty.
So this is really pretty too.
The art is fantastic.
This does not have the wow factor. It has a huge table presence. It doesn't have the table wow factor that Inish has.
It's pretty. But the art in this is that like rich, grungy, feels like it's got a good story behind it that I really, really like.
Yeah.
We'll do Kapow next. Kapow, another tutorial. Oh dear.
No.
That you put out. But you
Have
taught
you played
this thing.
Kapow?
I haven't. I was actually gonna take Jared on a mommy son date tonight and play that.
Yeah.
So I was gonna have him teach me, but you taught this game in like 5 minutes.
Yep. I was tasked with creating a 5-minute tutorial.
I'm gonna annoy him so you can click it here.
It was a sponsored tutorial, full disclosure, but so yeah, this is coming out. This is fulfilling soon from Wise Wizard Games, also going to retail. It's a dice battling game, but really cool element of it, kind of what sets it apart is you can change the dice faces on your dice. So you can earn more dice faces, you can swap them out as you play and kind of go from maybe a defensive early in the game to really offensive, really like, okay, I think I can finish it off in this last roll, so I'm going to change all of my faces to just battling faces, or to just offensive faces.
It says 12 and up. I think the theming, because it is comic book
Also,
themed.
it has really small pieces, so there may be something with like safety testing that those tiny pieces couldn't get approved. True. So yeah,
I didn't care about tiny pieces when we first started like into the hobby because my kids were older. Now that we have a newborn, I'm like, oh my gosh, like all the pieces, all the dice, all the meeples.
Yeah. And it does have some grungy villain themes. There's a villain with a kind of low cut top.
I think Kapow is a comic book series, though, is it not?
I'm not. I don't.
Or maybe it's just the theming.
Think so.
Oh, let's do My Shelfie.
My Shelfie, another Lucky Duck game.
I think I want to do the review for this one, so I'm gonna have that out too.
You're gonna hold your opinions for that?
A little bit, but it gives you the feel of like when you put it up on the table, you're like, oh, are we playing like Connect 4? Yep. It's like a solo Connect 4, but way more advanced. Yeah. I like it a lot.
It's vertical tile laying. It gets a little messy. I think by design, all of your tiles that you're drafting are out on the living room floor in a grid or in a like squares, but it does get a little messy. But again, the idea of it is that you're putting away your games and your books and your cats and your other stuff on your shelf.
Yeah.
But it's you can kind of see it's like a vertical tile laying Connect 4, has the Connect 4 element with the dropping in the thing, but it's not Connect 4. It's
like when you just said it's on the floor. When I was designing, doing like photos and like planning out what I was going to put on my wall, I would lay it on the floor the way it would be on the wall, and it just made me think of that when you said it's just all on the floor.
Yeah, so it's a really cool. You're trying to match patterns. You have some individual goals and patterns that you're trying to get, and some group patterns, and then getting things next to each other. It's a lot of fun. Very simple, but puzzly.
It plays real quick.
Like you are drafting
25 minutes.
That's accurate.
I thought it was. No. I thought we played less than
25
that.
Is accurate.
Really?
Yep.
All right. We'll do Dice Manor.
Dice Manor?
Yeah, let's do Dice Manor.
Okay, bidding. So, Dice
This one's
Manor.
not that bad.
Do you want me to talk about this one? Because I know you got frustrated with it.
I got frustrated at first. Second game we played, I was like, okay, I like it a little bit better.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the first game that I believe I played after I had Emma.
It's some cool dice bidding. Like you roll your dice. You're bidding on rooms of a house. You're trying to build out a house that you will then go on a tour of. Yes, a manor. You're bidding with the numbers, but not the value of the dice. So you roll your dice. You pick a number that you want to bid with. From what you rolled, you have to use all of that number to bid, but you're bidding on different places of the board. But it's not like a 6 beats a 4. It's I have 3 6s, you have 2 6s on this space that uses 6s to bid. And then you're also using your dice to go on a tour of the rooms of your manor because that's
something I always forgot to do. Like I was like, oh right, tours. Yeah. I need to
until the end of the game when you're forced to.
Yeah, but like that's in my head. That's when I do the tours, and then like you guys are all doing tours, and I'm like, oh. Yeah. But you roll your dice, and so it's like, okay, I've got 3 6s. I need to use these to bid on more rooms versus going on a tour, which I would have made more points with that. Yeah. Okay, I want to do Earth last. So we're gonna do Roller Coaster Rush, another bidding game.
Kind of.
No, exactly.
Yeah. Sorry.
Exactly.
Yes. It is.
And it's secret bidding. Yep. There's one of the bidding things that didn't get put away. So
I'll put it away now. It's way down in there.
Oh, it is. But look at this.
Yep. Really well designed insert.
I've already taken photos of it.
Some people we've seen have just torn the insert out. I like the insert because it protects the pieces.
Yeah, but it's double layers, so there's more inside there. But these, if you just because they are the what's it called?
The vacuum formed.
Vacuum formed. They're hollow inside.
Feels a little brittle, but so far we haven't had any issues with it.
I'll put that away later.
Yep. Very, very much a family weight game. It is not.
Now this is a reprinting of it, correct?
No, it's a re-implementation of an older game from Scott Alms that used cardboard roller coaster pieces. They changed some things. They used plastic. I believe the issue with the cardboard that they kept running into was if it wasn't perfect, then you killed the momentum on your marble. This one,
you think that you would kill the momentum because they don't fit.
They have a little gap, but
there's a piece of dust flying around.
It's deceptive.
It doesn't.
Yeah,
piece of dust is flying around.
It's not Roller Coaster Tycoon on the tabletop,
which is what I wanted.
Yes, but that's what it feels like it is. But it's
until you roll your marble.
Yeah, but it feels like that at first glance. But it really is your bidding, and the more you play, the more you know what pieces work well together. Mm-hmm. And it is trying to get the pieces that you need to have what you know will be a successful. And we ran into in like our third game a little bit of a
dexterity almost.
A dexterity element because you have a big ramp, and what the rules specifically say is to drop your marble on the ramp and you get points based on how many pieces it goes over.
And that could be that could be 2.
Yeah, when I reread that as drop versus set it on and push, we started to see, okay, how high can I get it to where I can drop it and it gets just the right amount of momentum. And sometimes you would get it to go over more than if you just pushed it, which created sometimes and that may be, I'm going with that was their intention because it says drop, not place it and roll it. That made it a more fun game because it added dexterity to it, and it added the do I want to be safe and just let it roll down, or do I want to try and get a really good go?
You had a better time with it. I have my opinions on it because if I'm going to have that type of chance and luck, I'd rather it be with dice.
But this is that's not a fair comparison. That's a fair comparison of your preference of games.
My preference,
yes. not of
that game. But I would rather, if I'm going to play a game with chance, I don't care for marbles, and I'm standing by that one. Because there's multiple games that have marbles, and I'm like, that's just personal preference. I wouldn't play. Now, if the boys want to play Roller Coaster Rush, I'm going to play it with them. Yeah.
It is very much it's a family weight game. The kids loved the physical 3D gimmick of it, and
but
it is
the same if they want to play what is the other ones that we have of the foam or the.
I have no idea.
with the volcano, and you're trying to like go the different places before the.
The island, the Fireball Island.
Fireball Island.
Yeah,
I'm not going to pull that off the shelf myself. The boys absolutely love that game. It's a family game. Of course, I'm going to play that game, but it has marbles.
Yep.
Oros.
Oros, totally unique. Also shooting a review of this soon. It is a game.
Are we doing a playthrough?
We're doing a playthrough. I have a tutorial coming out of it. We're going to do a live stream of it. It is a game unlike any other game that I've played. It's so unique. It's
we played the first time we played it, and I was just like, whoa. Yeah. We played it at 2-player the first time, and there is a very unique AI with it that was really overpowering, I felt.
I disagree, but we're allowed to disagree.
We disagree on things.
Yeah. It's the AI is very smooth though. You have to have at least
smooth, but it was really strong.
It was the weakest of the 4 AIs though.
Oh,
it was the one they recommend to start with. It's you're manipulating tiles on a map, trying to build altars to go study to you're a demigod. I think you're a demigod, trying to study under your spirit god or whatever. But it's
building islands.
And
pushing them together to create
mountains
and volcanoes, and it's really, really interesting how like geographically how it places, because you can move tiles one way and it's in a circle here. So it's like if I want to shift tiles this way, then it's going to shift all the way around, or I can shift this row or this column of tiles, and it's just crazy.
Think old school Nintendo game where you go off one side of the screen and you pop back up on the other. That's how. So you are shifting and moving and manipulating the map to merge islands and also to move stuff away from other people. Like again, there's a very competitive element to it of like, I'm going like, thanks, you got that mountain built so it can have an altar on it. I'm gonna move that over towards me and build my altar on it. Like,
but when we were playing with Devin the other night, we were all in one area and I was like, let's shift this out a little bit. So I then like divided the lands together, and it just didn't do well for me because they started building stuff where I moved things.
So great game, lots of fun. Unlike any other, like you get those games that it's like, oh, this is kind of like this. This is these mechanics implemented together with a unique spin on them. But I can't peg what mechanics this would be. Like, I can't think of another game that lines up with this one that it's like, oh, this is like that with its own unique spin. Like, this is... No.
But we haven't played all the games, obviously.
We haven't played all the games, but this is
if there is one, let us know.
It is. It's unlike any game that I have played, and I love that. It's a totally unique experience for me.
Now, we don't have my favorite part... now it's not my favorite part, but a part of Earth that I really, really like, and that's the playmat. But Earth, this is from Inside Up Games. We were sent this as a review copy, and oh my gosh, this game. Oh my gosh. Okay, I really like terraforming Mars, and you've got like Wingspan-ish. Those type of games where you're building your tableau, that's your engine builder of just like, oh, okay, so this will allow this to happen so I can do this and manage my resources that way. If you like Wingspan, but you want a little bit more, I'd go to Earth.
It's better than Wingspan.
Oh, it's way better.
Objectively.
It's way better. Well, you're not a huge
I'm not a huge fan of Wingspan.
But it's like, if... Arc Nova is a little bit longer and heavier than you'd like to play, I'd go to Earth. We've only played half a game of Arc Nova. Because we didn't have 7 hours.
Earth is a masterpiece of game design and game development.
My gosh.
It is, and we'll go into that. We're shooting a review of it today. We'll go into that more, but it is such a well-designed and smooth-playing game. It is not a small game. It is not a light game. It is so easy to play, full stop.
Yeah.
Not like for a big, heavy game. It's a pretty easy, big, heavy game. It is so easy to learn and play.
We've only played it at 4 players.
It doesn't change.
Jared was going to change, or he was going to play it at 1 player. He set it up, and then kids happened. I think neighbors came over and they wanted to play. So he abandoned what he was going to do. But we played it with the boys. So Peyton is 9.
Yeah.
We started at like 8:30 at night. We started later, towards bedtime. And he was tired. He was leaning on the table and was just like, okay. Daniel taught the game. Within his first turn, he moved the chair out so he could stand there. He was so engaged with the idea of how to build his engine. He was like, I get it. This is awesome. Let's get going. The fantastic part of this game is there is absolutely no downtime. Whatsoever, and that's what kept him so engaged the entire time. We didn't go to bed until like 10:45.
We play. It was our first game. Took 2.5 hours to play, but
and our 9 and our 13-year-old were there engaged the entire time. When we were scoring, there's a little bit. The scoring is a little bit long to score everything because there's so many things that you can add and things like that. So he started being like, "Okay, can you add my?"
But it was also almost 11 o'clock.
Exactly.
So,
but that like Daniel and I, we looked at each other and we were like, did you see that?
But the gameplay, you're picking an action, and then every other player gets to take a modified, lighter version of that action. So there literally is no downtime. Everyone is doing something on every turn.
And you're planning out, and you're like, I really hope someone plays the blue
action. And you get
action.
to run your engine every turn. Like if you have, it's color coded cards. So if someone activates the blue ability, you get to run your blue engine every time. Like it's such a good game. We'll do a full review of it, but it's such a fantastic game.
Just leave it on the table. We'll do that next.
So this was what we played in March. We are currently shooting this on March 31st. We'll probably play a game today while we're riding out the thunderstorms. But
they're coming through.
We'll include that in our April overview,
sure.
And we'll just fudge it a little bit.
And we will maybe do our next one if Emma lets me hold her for a little bit. You guys can see Emma.
Yep.
She's awesome. Our little player. We're gonna. The boys have already planned out which games they're gonna start teaching her. It'll be a little bit, but she can roll her dice for us soon.
Yeah, she's not good, but she'll be able to.
I mean, it's just rolling dice. Is there a way to?
There's a way.
I need to learn this way.
So. Okay, so this is what we played in March. Thank you all so much for watching. If you have any questions about any of these games, let me know. And we will reply to any comments that you leave as quickly as we can.
Let us know what games you would like to play or you'd like us to play.
Yep.
Maybe we can get that to the table next month.
So
we'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.